Hey there, welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take some chunky yarn, some wooden beads, and a Dollar Tree wreath form, and we're going to make this fun, soft, and warm feeling farmhouse inspired wreath. So I hope you're excited because I'm excited to show you. Okay, so today we're going to make something a little different. And you know what? Different is good, because sometimes I kind of get tired of making certain wreaths and maybe flowers or mesh wreaths all the time. And I want to show you how to make something that's soft and feminine and just like more of a home decor wreath. And this is not for the outdoors. So please don't put this on your front door, because this yarn is not going to take the moisture and the elements well at all. But I think this would be really pretty inside the house, part of your decor, and I just wanted to show you how to do it. So basically what we're going to do is I have this really thick yarn. I do not have the label. This is something I had in my stash, so I can't tell you a brand or anything, unfortunately, but you can see it's just a really soft feel of yarn. And I did get this at not Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby. Okay, so know that you can do whatever color you want. You're going to need to cut out 18 of these at 36 inches long, or just about a yard long, or just about a little bit more than a yard long. Okay, because we're going to do sections on our Dollar Tree wreath frame. Okay, and I think I'm going to get out another one that's kind of a brown color that I have. Okay, so what's the first step that we're going to need to do, Julie? Well, we're going to take our first 3 pairs of yarn here, and I'm going to take a zip tie and I'm going to connect them. You could even use a little hair tie, like a little elastic to tie this. You could use a pipe cleaner, but the zip ties is what I have right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to braid these, and we're going to need 6 of these sections. So that's why I say you need 3 times 6 is 18. So you're going to need that. Okay. So we're going to just gently braid this. We are not going to braid it tightly. Okay. So I just want to kind of overlay it. I want it to be nice and soft. I don't want a tight look at all. If you want a tighter look, just know that you're probably going to need more yarn, okay? If you're using, thinner yarn, you may need more sections for this wreath too. So, or if you wanted thinner yarn, I would probably double up on my lengths instead of a yard, maybe 2 yards, because I'm going to try to work on sections on this wreath. So I'm just going to braid this. Okay, so for the first step of this wreath, we're going to take a Dollar Tree wreath frame, and you're probably saying, Julie, why is yours like this gold or brown color? I don't know. I ended up purchasing these probably, a year or so ago, and this is what my Dollar Tree had. You don't have to use this color. I'm using this color just in case anything shows through. It just kind of goes with the decor, so I thought I would use it. So we're going to take our braid here, and it kind of reminds me of Elsa's braid on Let It Go. That's just what it reminds me. It's kind of picking up little things. So as you can see, I did not do it tightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to push it through bar 3 and bar 4. So bar 1, 2, 3, and 4 is how I do. I always work from my outside into my wreath. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have it in between these 2 bars, and I'm going to connect it on the cross bracket here. And I'm just going to put a nice tight and secure it. Okay. So we've got that started. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it around these 3 bars, but not that inside bar. We're going to save that bar for the next step, okay? So I just want to gently take my ribbon, or my yarn actually, not my ribbon. And you could even use ribbon for this if you wanted to. If you didn't want to braid it and you had some really pretty ribbon, you could do that too. So I'm just going to bring it through and just kind of overlap it. And just wrap those 3. And I'm going to pull it pretty tight, but not too tight. okay? Because we need room on that inside bracket for the next step. We're gonna put beads in that bracket, okay? And I just wanted it to lay just right, okay? All right. So if you wanted to braid two sections, if you wanted to do 2 yards at one time, you could do that. I didn't do that because I just wanted to make it easier. And honestly, you could do a little less than the full yard here. So I'm just going to attach this one to the frame, just to the cross bracket here. And then I'm going to add all these other sections of braids. So when I add this, I want to make sure, yeah, that looks good. I want to make sure it's nice and, you know, similar to the other ones. I don't know why I keep using my thing the wrong angle here. All right. So I'm going to just clip this. There you go. Now it reminds me of like dog hair. I know, I don't know why. Okay, so now I'm going to make 5 more sections of the same thing that I just did, okay? So I'm going to attach it right here, and then I'm going to do it to here, attach it, and the same thing. Remember, we need this inside bar to be left alone, okay? We're going to do something else with this. So I will be back for the next step. Okay, as usual, I'm like stopping and making sure I show you a step. So I've got this to this end, and so instead of doing 2 pipe cleaners, I'm just going to go underneath the cross bracket, so I say that correctly, and then I'm going to take a new one and put it there as well, and then that way we're only connecting with 1 zip tie, okay? I'm just going to pull that really good, and I'm just going to keep wrapping around. You might want to trim up the little fuzzies there, but I'm just going to keep wrapping it around for this next section. And then when I get here, I'm going to do the same thing so that it's just one less step, I guess, is what my point is here to show you this. But I will be back in a moment. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to take these wooden beads and we're going to put it on the inside of our wreath frame here. And you're probably saying, Julie, how in the world are you going to do that? We are going to just simply make 1 cut on each section, and then I'm going to show you how to reattach those sections, okay? So the thing that you're going to need are some wooden beads, and what I'm using here is what I got in the fall at Hobby Lobby. They will sell like a whole garland of these. They're like 6 feet long, and then like this was $8.99, and then it was 40% off. It was just a fraction of the price versus buying them like by the bags of beads in the back of the store. But I know that you can get these on Amazon too, so I will try to see if I can find a similar product on Amazon, and if I do, I will put it in the link or description box below. So what we're going to do is we are going to get our glue gun out here. In my glue gun is Gorilla glue sticks, not regular hot glue, Gorilla glue sticks, because that's going to hold just a little bit better than the normal hot glue. All right, and then also we're going to need some sort of twine. This, I don't even remember where I bought this, so just some sort of twine that you have on hand. I know that Dollar Tree does sell something similar to it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and so now we have a bunch of beads, okay, at our disposal. So we're just like, not really sure how many we're going to need. I'm just going to make a mess. They're going to go all over the table here. So, all right. I'm going to take my this is very important. You need a very good heavy duty pair of pliers or wire cutters. And I'm going to cut where the cross bracket meets with the wire, okay? So we're just going to cut that. All right. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow us enough room to now thread these beads, and it will stop at where the other cross bracket was. Okay. So as you can see, we were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads on. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to take some of this string. I'm just going to make a cut. As you can see, you're going to have parts in it that aren't going to be good. So I'm just going to cut a piece here. Again, I got to cut it there. I don't have a choice. But I think that'll be enough. All right, so that's like a yard. I'm going to tie one end of my string over here on the one side of the bracket. On the side of the bracket, I know won't get cut, okay? So I'm just going to tie a little knot here. I'm going to double that. And then I'm going to push it underneath. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in between. I'm going to wrap this around so that there is actual twine in between the beads, and it's going to cover up. I might actually just take a couple beads off here. It might make it a little bit easier. We're going to go in between. Okay. Oh, a bead just came off. All right. I'm going to go underneath there. And I'm going to wrap in between the bars between the beads, okay? All right, I'm gonna pull a bead down, and I'm gonna wrap. So you'll have a string of the jute underneath this, but this way it gives us just enough space. And if you need to go twice around your bar, you can do that too. Okay. Slide the bead down. I'm going to go under and over. Okay, slide the bead down, go under and over. This one's easier because my beads came off. Okay, put a bead down, go under and over. Bead. And we have room for one more bead here, okay? Oh, where's the end? There it is. Okay. So at this point, because I added all of that jute, and you really can't see it, but what it does is it tightens it up for us. Can you see that? It's going to tighten it up. So this is where you're going to be really careful. I'm going to put this at an angle here, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to be very careful because this is super duper hot. I should probably have a little glue tips on. Come on. I'm trying to be, there we go. And I'm just going to put that on, and I'm going to take the jute that I have, and I'm going to go over that piece of glue. Okay? And this should be enough jute for the next section, and it's just going to start holding. Okay, see how I just went over top? And I'm just going to hold that for a few minutes and let that dry. Okay, so I've waited a few minutes, and this, I believe, is dry. Now remember, this is not an outdoor wreath. This is a wreath for inside your home. It's a home decor wreath, okay? So now that I did have some extra, that'll be great. I'll use it for the next part. So I'm going to just go back right up here to where the next cross bracket is, and I'm going to cut on this side of it, okay? And I'm going to just keep doing the same thing I did here to here, okay? I will probably need to add, probably for my third section here, I'll probably have to add another piece of this, but I'm going to do this until we get all the way through. We're going to add 7 beads to each section. Depending on the beads, if you want to use bigger beads, you might use fewer. If you wanted to use smaller, you might not even need the rope, okay? So this is, I'm just using this as a spacer for me. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gotten to the end here and I wanted to kind of show you what I'm going to do to end this off. So we've connected to that next bar with some glue and I wrapped the twine around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to find a spot that I can just tuck this underneath. And I'm going to still try to be pretty gentle with it because I want everything to set up. Okay, so there we go. So we got that underneath. I need to trim off any extra, like this was the original piece there. Just going to cut that off. And then you'll just go around and you'll trim. Now this gets a little fuzzy and it's going to pick up every little piece of lint or anything that's around here. But I think that's really pretty. I think this is where you can just kind of go wild with whatever you wanted to add. I'm going to go find some ribbon and see how to add that to it. You could add a sign to this. At this point, you could have like a sign underneath here if you wanted to do something with like your Cricut machine or something. But I just wanted to kind of give you a base of what you can do to make a really simple, beautiful and soft and elegant wreath. So I'll be right back and we will be on to the next thing that we're going to add to this wreath. Okay, so what is some of the things that you could do to dress it up if you wanted to do that? I have some of these flowers. I think peonies would be pretty. I would cut some of these off and just kind of add them around if you wanted to. Like right here, I can see a little bit of the bar there. So I would like focus my intentions down here and I would put some flowers, some flowers with maybe, some lamb's ear I brought out here. I think that would be really pretty. I think I'm going to use this in my house. So I don't really want the pink in this. I want to keep it pretty neutral. So that's a thought. Just maybe put like 3 different flowers and a little bit of greenery and then hang it by a ribbon. Another thought is, did you hear that? That was like, that's part of the blooper that I'm going to keep in the video so that you guys can laugh at, because this is real life. And my elephants weren't running upstairs, so, you know, we didn't have that. But the video is not over with, too. Do you guys remember, let's see, in December, I think it was, I put out a video using these, like, foam or wood flowers. I got them at Hobby Lobby. Well, I don't have a whole set, but I think these would be pretty, too, if you cut down the stems. Let me cut this down so you can kind of get a better look. I think this would be pretty to put a grouping of them. And you could do that. Like these are my rejects. These aren't the ones that look that great, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of what you could do. So those are some options for you. So before I make the bow for this wreath, I want to show you the back of it, and we're going to make a little hanger out of our jute here. Okay, so as you can see where the rope lays on the back of the beads here. That's good. Nobody's going to see it. Wherever you want your bow to be, which is right here. So this bracket here, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to search for the bracket. I'm just going to kind of dig my fingers through here. All right. And when I feel it, okay, I feel it right there. I'm going to take some twine and we're going to just make a little hanger out of this twine. So I'm just going to take a good bit right here, about a foot, 12 inches, and I'm just going to run that twine underneath and go underneath that bracket. Okay. All right. So we're going to pull it through here if you can see. All right. All right. Pull it. Okay, so that's where it's going to hang. So I'm just going to take and make a little loop here. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull it so that that loop that we made stays behind the wreath. Okay, so this way, when we hang it, we have a little hanger to hang it. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to make a bow for the front of it. So I'm going to use this ribbon I purchased from the Wreath shop, and I will try to see if they have it. If they do, I'll leave a link for it down below. But it's really kind of a stiff canvas feel of ribbon. So it's a little more structured than normal, which is kind of nice, so that we can kind of structure the bow. So what I want to do is I want to make a length of the bow. I'm going to have about 12 inches, just so that I can have enough room to do what I want. Okay, so if we look at both sides of this bow or this ribbon, it's pretty much the same except for this. So I am going to keep twisting it. So I'm going to make like a 5-inch loop. So what that means is I'm going to take a 10-inch piece of ribbon, going to have it in both fingers, and I'm going to come back. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take another piece over here. We're going to measure with our mat here. It's what I like with these mats. Another 10 inches and come back to the middle. And we're going to just kind of turn it over. Going to do another 10 inches. We're going to keep it the same, keep it consistent, and come back over. All right. And we need one more loop, another 10 inches. All right. So which now makes our tail over here. And we're going to cut this. And you guys have seen me make this bow many times, but I just like to kind of go over it because it's just good to do and see how I did it. If this is the first time you're watching, make sure to subscribe. So I'm going to take a piece of wire here. I get these cut. Let me show you. This set came from Michael's, but I also get this at Walmart, and it's like a couple bucks. And it's like 22 gauge wire, and it just gives you like 35 pieces at Michael's. At Michael's, I think it's probably $5, but at Walmart, they have some as well. So it's just a nice size. So I'm going to take it and go over the middle here, and then I'm going to twist. All right. So let's look at that, see how it looks. And we'll put it on our ribbon, or wreath, and maybe, let's see. Oh, I don't think that's too big at all. I think that's good. So what I want to do is, you could do one of two things. You don't have to put something in here, but I like to add just something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of more of my jute. You could take a piece of the ribbon here, and I'm going to go around the middle where the wire is. And I'm just going to wrap. I'm going to cut it here, and I'm just going to wrap it around. So I'm going to tie it off, and then I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times. And that just, again, brings another bit of nature into it, okay? So I'm going to take my longer piece here, and I'm just going to wrap it around. All right. I think that's pretty. And then I'm going to lay it over here, and then you could tie it again. Here, I'll just tie it again. If that's what you want to do, I will tie it. And then I'm going to take my wire and go over it and just twist. All right. And then get rid of the ends here. All right. Our bow's got all flat here. So I think that's pretty. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to run it through that center bracket there that's kind of showing, so that this works out good. We're going to hide that. No wreath is perfect. There's always something that the creator, whoever made it, knows the spot that bugged them when they made it. You know what I'm saying? There's always a spot. So I'm just going to twist that. So if you've made it this far in the tutorial, number one, I appreciate you watching. I know that you have a lot of different options on here on YouTube, and I appreciate your time. Number two, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. You want to take the wire and you want to put it back into the frame, okay? Hit that notification bell. Well, looky here. Look, I did not pull that wire all the way through. Let's fix that. Like I said, nobody is perfect here, and I am not one of those people. So let's move it up. Gotta fix it. Cut the wires. There's always something. There's always, you know, you think that these projects just come off really easy, but no, there's always a problem area. All right, so let's pull this over and now fix the bow. As you can you see all the stuff that's on my shirt? All the white from the yarn. Okay. So I think that's going to be pretty. I'm going to shorten these because it's way too long. And a little bit more. Get the pieces out. But anyways, I'm glad you made it this far. Thanks for being patient with me. I had a little trouble with the bow, but that's okay. I think it's going to be really pretty. I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to do something. Again, use different color yarn, use different beads. I wanted to kind of show you how to add the beads to the wreath itself. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow and subscribe here. Join me on Wreath Creators and More. It's my Facebook group on Facebook. And make sure you follow me on social media on Facebook and Instagram. So until we get to the next time, is there a bow emoji? I think there's a bow emoji on your phones or on your iPads. I know the computers don't have it, and that's okay. But I appreciate you watching. And until next time, we'll see you on Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.